Okay, good to go.
Water Commissioners meeting is called to order Thursday, September 7th, 2023 at 6 p.m. This meeting is being recorded. Present, Chairman Ed Johnson.
Commissioner Dave Mesler.
Commissioner John Kane.
Randy Brown, DPW Director.
Okay. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment?
Don't see any.
Nothing. Okay. John and Dave, have you read the minutes of the last two meetings?
Yes, sir.
Minutes.
In June. Yep. I'll second
Second the motion to accept as written.
All in favor?
Dave Mesler, aye.
Ed Johnson, aye.
John Kane, aye.
None opposed. Okay.
Those are in the packets.
Yeah,
there.
Dave, you can sign this one. John can't sign this one. You can sign this one. Where'd all the pens go, Randy?
Oh, sorry.
I thought you had
Four
one.
inches.
But I don't. Okay. Dave can't sign that one because you want.
Accept the 10 minutes.
Oh, we didn't vote, didn't you?
I thought you did both.
You didn't vote.
Oh, no, I only said May minutes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead then. Yeah, I thought you didn't vote.
Oh, so it wasn't here. So I'll make a motion to accept the June minutes as written.
I second that. All in favor? Yeah, Johnson, aye.
John Kane, aye.
Okay, that's what I, okay. Motion carries. Okay, elderly rate. We got 15 applicants. They all meet the necessary requirements to get the elderly rate application. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept all 15 applications.
Second,
Second the motion to accept all 15 elderly rate applications.
all in favor? Ed Johnson, aye.
Dave Mesler, aye.
John Kane, aye.
Okay, that motion carries. Okay, we've got one elderly rate. Joseph Stevens, 11 Pine Knoll. He will not be 65 until 11/12 of this year. Randy suggested that we approve it, but not accept it until after the next billing cycle.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the application and put it in place on the next billing cycle.
I second it.
Okay, all in favor? Ed Johnson, aye.
Dave Mesler, aye.
John Kane, aye.
Okay, motion carries. And we have another one, Michael Ruscio. Can you explain that to us, Randy? He's just a renter.
He rents a property on Castle Street. He acknowledged that in his application. So we don't typically allow rental properties to be qualified under the elderly rate. And they are, technically the owner still owns them and they're responsible for the water bill. So typically we don't allow that.
A motion on this?
I'll make a motion to deny.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Ed Johnson, aye.
Dave Mesler, aye.
John Kane, aye.
Okay, motion carries due to decline, Mr. Ruscio's.
And he can't switch it to his.
No, the bill would have to be under
The
the
bill has to go to the owner.
owner's name.
Yeah,
Always.
always. Yeah,
We've had several requests for that.
that's what he wants us to do. He wanted us to switch it to his
Yeah.
name again, because he doesn't own the properties there. Okay, Randy, DPW.
Okay, it's been a little while since we last met, but not a whole lot to report. But I'll go over the significant items. First, Christy's been on maternity leave for several months now, and she's expected to return back to work full time on Monday,
Awesome.
on the 11th. So,
Awesome.
great to have her back.
Yes, sir.
Second item, it's been so long, but we lifted the water restrictions on July 3rd due to return to normal flow levels in the Westwood River. So at that time, we did put the notices and signs in the town. We just haven't had a meeting since then to talk about it. Item 3, a couple weeks ago, we received our third quarter samples for trihalomethanes and haloacetic acids. So the great news is that we are out of the water quality violations that we've been faced to go through over the past 6 months, or 18 months.
I was gonna say 18 months.
It's been 18 months.
Sure.
So the results have been coming down the last couple of quarters, and then this quarterly sample, they were low enough where we're out of the restrictions. So moving forward, I'm hoping, knock on wood, we'll be out of that issue. But that certainly is good news.
Yep, certainly is.
Item 4, we are required to do a townwide leak detection survey every 3 years. This is the year for that service. So we have contracted with a vendor, to do that work. Name is Grouse Water Services. They'll be out here in October, in probably a 4 or 5 day period,
Okay.
to look for any leaks in the water system. Item 5, 71 Coes Hill Road. Our water system stops before this property, but they're looking to tie into our water system. They've talked to a local contractor to extend the water service to their property. Kevin and I have looked at it and we mapped it out with the contractor, and we expect that to happen sometime in October. So
Okay.
they're having some issues with their well, I believe.
Okay.
And so they want to tie into the water system.
Are there any properties beyond that?
There, not really. This is, we are gonna bring a 2-inch line to the property, so if there's anybody beyond there that wants to tie in, we could. But it wouldn't be, it would be another house or two maybe.
What's
But-
that on the left-hand side?
Yeah, remember the house that burned down?
Yeah, okay.
A couple
Yeah,
years ago?
Yeah, he used to be on the fire department.
Yeah, yes.
Dave Weatherall.
Weatherall, yep. yep.
Okay, I thought so.
That's the house.
Yep.
And there's no one around him. There's
Right, there is.
across, maybe one house across the
Across,
street
I
with a
think, yeah.
farmhouse.
Right,
There's
But
all
other
the
than that,
fields
there's-
behind him.
yeah.
Yeah, there's really not much there, so.
that's what I thought it was. The house it was, yeah.
Yeah. Item 6, Jeff Budavelli, he's our backhoe inspector. He finished his inspections in the springtime, and then he'll return sometime in the fall and finish all those remaining devices that require 2 samples per year. And the last item, number 7, is we talked about this, I think, at some of the last meetings. We applied for a grant through the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Program.
Yep.
To do a, it's called a lead service line inventory. So looking for any lead services in the system. So the grant's actually pretty sizable, $213,000 grant, to work with a local consultant. And what they'll do is they'll take all of our records, anything we have on paper, service cards, plans.
Okay.
We did the water meter project 4 or 5 years ago, and actually every part of the project, we went in the house and took photos of all the services.
Okay.
Maybe some information there in terms of materials, and then we'll combine that into a spreadsheet, database, and then if there are any gaps, there will be some field investigations. So whether it's a on-site survey, basement survey, or maybe some test pits, that's all part of this program.
Okay.
So we don't need to verify every property, but we need to make our best effort to identify as many.
Then you do good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of this this grant program. So there is I still have some housekeeping items to take care of between the state,
Okay.
but there is an agreement in the back folder. Well, actually, we'll talk about this in a little more detail, but there is an agreement in the back folder. So let's wait till new business to talk
Okay.
about that. I want to jump ahead.
Okay. All right. Work order summary.
I don't work on our summary this one. No Christie, he's no work on our summary.
Okay, all right. That's all right, okay. Appointments, none. Old business, none. Okay, new business.
So I guess kind of jumping in, we just talked about that lead service line. So I have a proposal here from Ty and Bond to do this third-party investigative work we just talked about a few minutes ago. I do have some housekeeping items I got to take care of to get the contract approved for the state. And then once I get that approved, then we can move forward with this agreement with Ty and Bond. So, what I guess I'm trying to, in an effort to keep things moving along and knowing that we meet once a month or so, I would ask that this board vote to approve this contract. But I may ask you to hold off on signing it until I get all my ducks in a row.
Okay,
And I need to get the same approval from the select board. They meet more frequently, so I don't think it'll be as big an issue getting their approval. But if you give it your blessing at this meeting tonight, I can get their blessing, and then I can meet you at your convenience and get your signature on the document that I need to have signed. If that's not amenable to you.
yeah, it's fine with me.
So this is something that doesn't have to go out to bid.
No. So these consultant type projects don't need to go. If it was a construction project, it didn't
Would
need
have
to.
to.
Change my business.
Yeah.
But it's more than the grant. We're gonna have to put some money in.
No, this is the
No.
grant.
So I'll cover them with the grant.
So I made a typo on the number.
213,000, there's just 216. Oh,
So
That
there
might just be a typo.
must be a typo
Okay.
on the
Typo.
cover sheet, sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. So the grant This-
13.
is the grant check, yeah. Yeah, it'll cover everything that we need.
Okay.
So I guess as I go through this here, there's a lot of it's data collection.
Mhm.
But there is time in here for basement inspections. That's going to a property, inspecting the service in the basement.
Yeah.
Seeing where it comes into through the foundation walls, through the material. We do have some vacuum excavations. We can do a little small test hole out in the street, just off the street, and see, go down to the water service and get a view of it, see what the sample, get an idea of what the material is.
They're only giving us 2 weeks of or three weeks of work if required, and then all that's going to be time and materials afterwards. So do we think there's going to be more than 10 days worth of basement inspections?
I asked that with Time Bond based on what they've done with other communities. They don't think that'll be enough. Like I said, we don't need to get every service out there.
Yeah.
We just need to do target the high suspect areas.
Okay.
So places like new subdivisions off South Longard Road, those are all newer homes, built well after 1982, 83 timeframe. So there's no lead in those services. That we know that. So we can eliminate a whole bunch of town, for that. But the older sections of town where our records aren't as great, potential for lead services, that's when we would do some of these, field investigation.
I have a motion on the floor to accept.
So what if they find, are they going to upgrade the lead services? Is that part of this too, or no? This is just
This is more investigative work.
Do some inspection.
Yeah. So there, if we, go ahead, Dave.
What happens if they find lead services? Are we gonna get another grant, or the homeowner gonna be on the hook to change the service?
So that's a good question. There is a lot of money in this lead program administered through the state. So I think there are probably going to be monies available to either the town or the homeowner if we do identify lead services.
I'm thinking that all the older properties, they're not the $600,000 homes.
Yep. So so first of all, we're not aware of any lead services in town at all. A lot of communities, they know they're out there. They're still going to go through this whole exercise that we have to go through.
Okay.
There is a window in the early 80s, I think 82 to 85, 86 timeframe, where it was, I think, almost all lead services. So those homes within that time period, actually, fortunately, there's few homes that are built in that time frame. And so we'd have to do a lead and copper survey every year in our water system. And we target those homes that are built in that time frame. And there's no lead, in coming back, no high lead results coming back to us.
Okay.
So we know within that window where the high probability is, there's no lead services.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. We're talking 220,000 for them to use all of our data and tell us what we probably already know. And then they're going to have more than 10. They're going to want to go in for longer than 10 days.
So I hear you there, John. I can't tell DEP that we know there's no lead, so that's not. So this is actually being really administered by DEP, and they got a kind of I'll say formula.
Yep.
Of things that need to be done step by step.
Yep.
And me saying what I just told you, which
They
I think
won't accept it.
that's not.
I understand.
We still have to go this whole exercise of going through
but
all
I
of
think
our
their
records.
price is inflated.
And this
That's
is all
why.
being paid by the state grant.
There's no money coming out of town for it. Correct.
Right. It's all paid for the grant.
I still don't know paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Oh,
paying
yeah,
for it
paying it.
regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's
Yeah.
millions of dollars in this program, this this lead program through the state, and if we don't use it, someone else will.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you just know the price. Their price is inflated. It matches exactly with the grant, because I think that's
That's how it's
how
set up.
Time Bond does their work. But I think the price is too much for what they're going to do. But that's just me.
I make a motion to accept the
A second,
I'm gonna vote no on this one. I'd like to look into this more. I mean, if you guys vote yes, you can have it.
I second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Ed Johnson, aye.
John Kane, no.
Motion carries. Okay, we don't have to sign it now, right, Randy?
Nope, oh, I will ask for that later on.
Okay.
I don't think there's enough information for what they're billing us for. We don't necessarily have to use the whole grant. And I think they're gonna come back for more. That's what I'm worried about.
Anything else under new business?
I do not have any, no.
Dave, John, anything under new business?
No.
How do we make out with the Sam West Road? Did they ever take care of that? Did I miss Salt Marsh with the service line?
Oh, we
We cut it off, right?
the service of caps, yes.
And they
That's
never-
the street.
Yeah, and they never put another one in.
Nope.
Nope, no, that's capped off and they've never come in.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was probably a year ago, maybe.
Yeah, no,
But
they
they haven't
were out
done
to the
anything.
street and capped it, and that was it. So they never came to it. So that's a done deal, I guess.
Yeah.
A motion for adjournment,
Make a motion to adjourn.
and a second,
Second that motion to adjourn.
all in favor, Ed Johnson, aye.
Aye.
John Kane, aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
All right,
Thank you, gentlemen. On the sign now.